To win a state championship in high school sports is really something. To do it back-to-back, we're with Travis King, Stevens Raiders high school wrestling coach. And Travis, congratulations on the state championship
Dwight.
again.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it was quite a feat. We had a special weekend. You know, our boys, we did just enough to get out of there with another state title. So
just enough.
Just enough. It was a one-point tournament, so I mean, you could go in and about every single match in the brackets, all 14, could have had an effect on that point totals. So
yeah,
it was quite a run. Nervous.
Pretty exciting though.
Really exciting. You know, the fans were super excited. I think everybody, you know, they were watching that, and you know, as they watched on TV through the SDPB, you know, they had all that, and people were just like, I wasn't sure if you were going to hang on or not, and we ended up coming out of there with both the dual trophy Friday night and the state team individual title on Saturday night. So we had a sweep.
Years ago, ABC Sports used to say the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, but victory's sweet when it happens.
Yeah, it is, you know, especially as a coach, you know, because you can't really do a whole lot, you know. You sit there.
You want to get in there and help them, huh?
Yeah, you know, you just hope that your body of work that you've put in throughout the 100 and some days it is, that it's enough and that the kids understand to be best at the end. And our kids did this season again, so we're super proud of them.
Did you do it with some kids that were missing from last year's team?
Yeah, you know, we had, going into the season, we had 7 returning starters and 7 first-year starters. So, you know, each week, you know, we kind of have a routine here in our schedule, and you could see the growth. You know, we had freshmen and some first-year starters for them, and we also had, you know, seniors that were first-year starters also. So it was a good mix. But, you know, as the season went on, I saw the potential in the kids, you know, and I challenge them every day, if not every 20 minutes, you know, what we're working for. And we're working for that team title. So when it comes part of the deal, you know, last year we had a great season and those kids moved on. And this year I kept telling these kids, you know, it's not last year, you know, it's a whole new year. Like say, you got new kids and more expectations. And, you know, we got to the top of the first hill, but there's always a second hill. And the kids took that and ran with it this season. We had a great season.
Any state champions?
Yeah, you know, we had a returning state champ, Cooper Voorhees. He was a senior. He finished the year 50-0, won his second title. He'll wrestle for the University of Wyoming next year for the Cowboys. And we also put 3 other great kids in the finals, you know, and 2 of those 3 had to beat defending state champions to get there. We would have liked to add a couple more, you know. We'd like to have all 4 state champions, but, you know, those kids are champions because they earned the team title, you know, that's always nice. And also, but they were in the finals. The first time we had 4 in the individual state finals since 2007. So that was quite a feat for our kids, and that's how we ended up standing on top at the end of the weekend.
Travis, from start to finish this season, any kids surprise you?
You know, I had a lot of surprises. You know, I expected Cooper to have a good season. You never know with our schedule. We got a tough wrestling schedule, Dwight, and you never know if, you know, there's someone out there. We wrestle the Montana champions, North Dakota champions, the South Dakota best teams. You know, we run into Minnesota kids, some of their best teams. So our schedule puts you in a pretty unique situation as far as high school wrestling, because you wrestle kids from Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana. So we get a good variety. So you never know when there's someone just as tough, and he did. But, you know, the rest of the kids, you know, we have, this year we lose 5, so 9 of these kids will come back next year. And I know I got more than that waiting to get on that spot. So you never know. I know Brandon Valley and the other schools will have quite a team too. So it'll be another body of work needed for next season.
Yeah. Do you have some off-season events coming up?
You know, we kind of try to stay in contact with the kids as much as they allow us, you know, but we have some kids that do some off-season wrestling. That is truly important nowadays. I mean, you think about it, when I was in high school in the early 90s, late 80s, you wouldn't have had any off-season stuff, very limited. And, you know, today you could go on and wrestle about every week, and, you know, that's someone, you got to think these wrestling mats are in so many places with the MMA and all those different jiu-jitsu gyms and so forth. So there's kids wrestling, you know, every week, and you know, we try to do a lot. We have some summer stuff that we do with the kids and try to keep them active. You know, we can't get everywhere to compete, but you know, just coming in, that's when I tell the kids that's when we can really learn some wrestling, you know, add to what they already have. So
it's always great to have a coach that was a good competitor. How was your career at Stevens High School as a wrestler?
You know, I had a decent career here, not by any means like a Cooper or any.
You're not
of
a
these
state
other,
champion.
I was a state champion.
All right,
one
congratulations.
Time. Yeah, 1993. Mr. Aldridge and I and our team, I finished state champ. You know, and I got to write the end of that book and went on and wrestled at college, and I got to put wrestling shoes on. You know, all the way till the last day as an amateur. The only thing for me after that was raise my family and start working or try for the Olympics. And I had 2 daughters at that time and married, so I needed to start providing for them. So I came home, and I haven't left the wrestling room since.
You were an SDSU Jackrabbit wrestler.
Yeah.
How'd you do out in Brookings?
You know, I was an All-American a couple times, and one time won there in the NCAAs. I was a national champ my 5th year. I just put everything together just right. So I was one of the guys that got to write the last part of your own story, so to speak. I got to write the end, and I was the champ of that weekend and that year. So I was blessed, and that's why I know that every day, every week I give to these kids, because I was able to take it, you know, all the way to the end of a career, and not everyone will. So
Travis, we appreciate you taking time to be on Black Hills TV, and again, congratulations on back-to-back state titles.
Yeah, you know, we did this school. I challenged the kids all year. You know, they did it in '75 and '76 when wrestling was back then, and then they did it in 1880 and '81, and you see it on the wall. So we've had 4 other opportunities, and we'd always fallen short. So putting 1920 on that banner is quite a significant feat for these kids and our staff.
A lot of pride not only for Stevens Raiders, but you know what? There's always this East River, West River thing, and so everybody out here is proud.
Yeah, it's, you know, we're great. We're excited to be able to keep that trophy out here west, and you know, our kids will have assembly next week for them, and they'll get recognized by the school, and they're on some billboards around town. So our community really understands what we put in, and we try to make it a Stevens Raider wrestling family. That's always our goal. So we had a big team, and they're all state champs, something no one can take from them.
You bet. Remember it the rest of their lives.
You bet, forever, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Travis.
Thank you, Dwight.